Let me show you how to make this delicious dish.
This dish long ago, and I'm making it again because it was delicious. I'm in the supermarket, but yeah.
Once you've bought all your ingredients, we're going to, of course, do a little layout for Instagram to take our beautiful pictures. Yeah, get that going. Gotta cut the sides this way. So, and you want to cut them thin because you want them to cook all the way through. You want them to gather all that sauce. You know what I'm saying? So I cut mine about this thick, and you can cut them about this thick. So no, and we're gonna cut these the long way. I'm gonna cut them thin. And when I say thin, I mean like that thin. These, and I'm just gonna, yeah, it makes it so the tomato doesn't just fall apart. It's like being gentle with it. And you want to be gentle with your food. I'm gonna just actually lay these out on a cutting board because I'm gonna take a picture and a video. You guys know how I am with my That's a good tomato. It's sweet. Oh yeah. Let's clean that off. Keep going. Boy, you know I look good. That's what I wish I was. That song be stuck in my head forever, y'all. I'm gonna use, I think, most of these. My friend grew this. So I'm gonna use this one next. Now pesticides, just tomato. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the bottom part off. Oh, that's a good tomato. I'm gonna lay this one out right next to that. Oh, that's a thick piece. That's thick. All right, we're almost done. This is a good tomato. I'm excited to taste it on top of the meal, y'all. You don't know this. I love me some tomatoes. Just like my mom, she eats them like apples. That's probably why I just eat that thing like it was an apple. A lot of people don't like tomatoes because of the texture. This is a good tomato. You can tell by the cell walls. The cell walls aren't too deep and there's a lot of that juice. Like, look at this. That's a good tomato. The thicker the cell wall is, the less juice, jum juice. That's what I call it. The jum juice. But yeah. I got that. Let's put this here. We're gonna eat this pizza. Now once that's done, of course, I did do a bird's eye view of everything cut, the mise en place. You guys can see how beautiful it looks all together. Then you're gonna take a tablespoon of oil of choice. I use grapeseed, and you're gonna brush this on your baking sheet. You wanna make sure your baking sheet has a nice thickness. I'm talking like 4 inches in height. This one's a little thin. You can still do it. You just have to watch it. So you're gonna brush that oil all over. This is gonna make it so that everything cooks thoroughly. And you're gonna start with your potatoes, and you're just gonna layer everything. This is all about layering. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to layer your potatoes. Now, I started to organize them all nice and stuff. Then I realized there wasn't enough space, so we was just gonna make it do what it do. So I just put them all together. I layered them on. I moved them over. I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I do. And I was trying to make them look pretty. Your eyes are working. You can't taste anything yet because who the hell eats raw potatoes? And if you do that, sure, that's your business. But yeah, I was like, okay, that one's a little thin. I need to put one on top of that because that's going to cook too quick. And yeah, so you're just going to layer potatoes. And this is where we're making our layers. You're making a layer of potatoes. And these are, again, red potatoes, but you can use rustic. You could use whatever potato you have or want that you enjoy. Just make sure to cut them thin. And then you can skin on or skin off. I prefer the skin because most of the nutrients are in the skin of the potato. But it also looks pretty. Like, you're not going to eat, you are eating the skin. But you don't even really taste it per se because there's so many layers. So yeah, this is me just organizing and complicating stuff in my head. But yeah, we're gonna lay them down one tater at a time. Yeah, you see, I'm trying to figure it out. But I was trying to make sure that the thin ones had double because I didn't want those to cook too quick. So just filling in the spaces, and then I start layering them on top of each other because then I was like, okay, we got to get this all on the pan. But again, take your time. You can do this with your kids if you have children. You can do this with your friends. This dish is super easy and it's very versatile and it's very easy to come together once it is all laid out. But yeah, get them things down. I know this is taking a minute. Patience is a virtue. So yeah, we're just trying to figure out where to put all the rest of these potatoes. And you can see I'm just scattering them at this point. I'm just like, all right, you can go on top of there. You can go on top of there. You can go on top of there. So there are the potatoes, all done. Next, we're going to, we lost one. Next, we're going to put the onions on top or some salt. I think I did salt. Yeah, we're doing some sea salt. And you're going to do about half a teaspoon of that. I sprinkle up high so that I can scatter or cover more of the surface, so to speak. And then we're going to put our onions. Now, I did about 3 handfuls of onions. And you just want to scatter them all over. You're making another layer. You want to break them apart. You want to make sure they're in all the crevices. Move them, push them down because this pan is not tall enough. But we're going to make it work. We're going to make it do what it do. You guys scatter it. Sprinkle. And you want to break that up if it's too big. Take it out. Cut it. You just want to keep it simple because this is a very, very simple dish. You don't want to complicate things. This is a time of woosah, to relax, to enjoy, and just understand that you're building layers of flavor in simplicity. So yeah, about 4 handfuls of onions. More than half of what you cut. Again, the full recipe will be down in the description. Next, we're going to add our zucchini. Now, I didn't cut a lot of this, so it did not cover the whole surface as much as I would like it to. I was kind of placing them on top of each other. Then I was like, you see that one was too thick? I thought it would look, you see the difference? I thought it was 2. It was 1. See, you never know. And then with those, it was a little bit harder to cut them evenly because I didn't want to cut the end parts too thin and cut my little finger. So, boom, we're just scattering them. I'm layering the thin pieces on top of each other. I'm kind of just putting them all over to make sure I cover the whole surface. And when I do decide to scoop them, you get a little bit of everything, except instead of not having that. So yeah, you're just going to place this thing on top of each other. Again, this is just creating layers of flavor. Now, this is great for those that have leftovers and don't know what to do with the zucchini or potatoes. I had these in my fridge for a minute and I did not know what to do with it. And I happened to see this being cooked on American Test Kitchen and I was like, I gotta make that because I have all the ingredients and I didn't know that putting potato, onion, zucchini, and tomatoes together was a thing. It's not something you look up. And now these are baby onions. They're called scallions. The little guys, this is just a little bit of onion flavor. And then I'm going to press it down, of course, you know, to make sure it's all packed in there. And then, of course, I'm going to go back in with our onions. And this is the last of the onions. We're going to put all of them on there. This is just flavor and more flavor and seasonings and textures. And just, if you don't like onions, I don't recommend you making this. Just saying. You can probably swap something out for it. Like if you're more of like a leek person or something with oniony flavor that is not onion. But they're all cousins and brothers and sisters in some form. So yeah. So did a little salt, and we're gonna do a little oil. I did a little oil, and we're gonna do a little salt. Again, only a half or a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. I sprinkle high so it can cover more surface, and then the same with the oil. So yeah, we're gonna put the rest of them onions on that thing over there, making sure all of it is on there because I ain't playing no games. We want all of the flavor. Then we're gonna move over to the juicy stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna move over to the juicy stuff and start adding the layers. But I just wanted to make sure everything was copacetic and organized. And we're gonna put our tomatoes on here now. So we're gonna put the juicy, delicious tomatoes, you know what I'm pronouncing, tomatoes. And you want to kind of layer them on top of each other, like shingle them, I guess, so to speak. Yeah, like that. And you're going to do this all over the layer. I know I didn't show you that, but that's what we're going to do. And then you're going to do that, and you're going to cook it in the oven. Make sure to preheat it 450 until it's for 40 minutes, and then take the foil off. But all